to him.
Busy night studying up last night, mate.
It was indeed. Good toss to win too. Always like to go with the breeze on a wet day. Get it twice before three-quarter time, and then everybody starts to tire in that last quarter. The Dockers have done that. Penny gets the opening kick out towards the wing. Goddard's over the football, tackled by Walker, taken by Ball, the skipper. Hand passes about 10 metres close to the boundary line, knocked on by Hayes. Picked up by Hazelby, back to Polak. Short one to the wing, over the top, flying very high was Ball. It was at Voss. Voss knocking away from Bell. And the ball is out of bounds. So very windy day, overcast, a lot of rain this morning, and the ground will be slippery. Sandilands not playing, so the average height dragged down as far as the Dockers are concerned. Hazelby gets a hand pass away, hurriedly by Walker, tumbles it towards half forward, spills inside the forward 50. Webster and Jones. Jones paddling it back towards his defensive goal, off the ground by Maguire and across the line. Just thinking about that average height with Bell, Josh Carr and Black.
If they're tall in the back line, if they're tall in the back line, they certainly bring down the average through the middle. But one thing they can do, Dennis, is they can play those boys.
Sure. It's like when Dermott walked out of his coach's box, Dennis, it brings down the average premierships per person in here by quite a margin. Hodgson, short, Fiora. Now Ball, the Reds down. He's got up the captain this afternoon to his old captain, Harvey. He wide, looking for Ackland, wearing Montagna's old number 28 this year. Montagna has chosen number 11. Long kick towards Del Santo. He missed the ball, so too did Hamill. Spinning out of trouble, Matthew Carr. Good game last week, best on ground against Port Adelaide in that victory. Hazelby the half forward, but Voss in front takes the mark.
Spots a man out towards the wing. In fact, three of them. Ackland's got it. Schwarz comes up, takes the mark though, called his teammate out.
Couple of key matchups there. Fraser Gehrig being picked up by McFarlane.
Off hands to the back of the pack. Longmuir's over it. Now we've got a whistle. Kazitsky comes up with the football, but it's a Docker free. It will go to the man who was over the ball initially. Longmuir lays it off to Black. Inside his own defensive 50. Where will he go? Across the ground. Parker is running hard for him. Milne in pursuit. This will be interesting. Will the ball sit for him? Will it go out of bounds? He's running out of space. Tried to keep it in. That's holding it surely. Milne was there for an eternity. Well, Parker didn't play it too well. It needed the boundary, I would have thought. And or he needed to not take possession. Meantime, back at the game. Terrible kick coming across from Milne. Down goes Voss. Plenty of Dockers around the football. It will be this sort of afternoon. Umpires this afternoon. Grun, Head and Wen.
Let's have a look at that matchup through the middle. Hayes and Dodd, Harvey and Peter Bell. And also up forward, those three key forwards. Gehrig has been picked up by McFarlane, Kazitsky by Polak, and Aaron Hamill by the youngster Thornton.
Ball up, Schwarz. Caught by Woods. Shrugged the tackle, Milne. Harvey. Well played, high kick inside 50. Kazitsky bumped out of it by Polak, who took a strong mark and was allowed it. Bell is his target. Takes a strong mark against Fiora. Plays on. A little bit of arrogance there. Goes to Carr. Matthew kicks inside 50 and Baker. There's a good mark opposed to Farmer.
Well done. Swings it across the ground. Ackland's taken the mark this time. Right half back. Pops it up towards the wing. Dockers need goals. They're running on the breeze. This is Harvey. Short one. Penny just forward of the wing. It's a very big ground. Penny just gets the ball inside the forward 50. Polak does well again. Worked in front of Kazitsky to claim it. Well done, Baker. Jostling initially with Farmer. Longmuir on the wing. Desolate scene out there, as you can see. The place far from packed. Well, the seating was sold, but I think a few have stayed away given the conditions. Coming up, Pavlich, it bounces away from him and goes across the boundary line. Doc is very impressive last week, and the Saints, a lot of controversy spinning out of that game, but when Riewoldt left the ground, they were 10 points in front. Their footy wasn't bad last week either. Throw it in. Ackland and Woods. Ackland thought about clean possession, got it down to Ball, who started very well. Schwarz gets a hand pass away. Harvey getting busy as well, close to the boundary line. He was quiet last week. It's out of bounds.
He might well become St Kilda's greatest ever game player this year, Robert Harvey. This is game 302. Nathan Burke currently holds that record with 323. Four-time best and fairest winner Robert Harvey, been a great servant of the club. Bell got it out quickly to Josh Carr, around the body towards Medhurst, can't keep it alive, and will get a ball in. Paul Medhurst, 2 goals, 3 last week.
Let me have a look. And Grant Thomas told us Fiora would line up on Black, but Black has pushed to a back flank, a defensive type of winger, come back flank on Goddard, and that's put young Walker onto Fiora.
Ackland and Woods. Hodgson knocked out on this ground during the pre-season comp by Chris Grant. Got it to Jones, straight up in the air. Play on, not 15, the umpire called. Headland thought he had it. Ackland has got it. Gave it out, but no one can break free with it at the moment. Ball, Ackland, Harvey, danger still. Voss, Schwarz, out of trouble and wide. Boundary line will probably do. They get it in front of Penny.
That breeze pushing the ball across to that side of the ground as well. You can see the bench there. On the right-hand side, a familiar face to Docker fans, fitness advisor Adam Larkham. Split with the club in controversial circumstances late last season. Here's Jones. Harvey getting a lot of it. Only as far as Woods this time, forward of the wing. Probing kick. Look at it go on the breeze. Clears the pack, clears the boundary line. Out of bounds on the full. Now the Dockers have got to straighten up. They need somebody in the square demanding the football, because at the moment they're going around the edges and the conditions aren't made for that. This is Baker.
Might just go down and find from Jason McCartney. That ball seemed to have a big carry on it, Jason. What would you estimate the win's value?
Look, it is gusting. I think it'll at least be 4 to 5 goals, Dermot. It's like I said, gusting. It drops a bit and then it does pick up pretty quickly.
Hazelby.
Another big one.
Yeah, but again to the pocket, attracted by the movement. Out of bounds on the full. Medhurst in front. Hodgson, short one to Baker. In fact, when they tossed the coin took off. Did you notice that? It moved about a metre in mid-air.
Was there like a couple of tails in the movement?
I'm not sure. I'm not that smart, but if I saw that, I'd go with it.
Baker. Farmer. Umpire said a push. And Jeff Farmer will have to give the ball to Schwarz.
33 possessions to 19 in favour of the Saints, so they're winning the ball.
And you'd expect them to stick to that dead side, Dermot, as much as possible?
Yeah, just our luck. The dead side couldn't be this side, could it?
Hamill, lucky to be playing. Chris Scott said he didn't touch him last week. Penny is playing back into the side, couldn't pick it up. Ackland does. Bell. The one from Longmuir, short.
It had as much reality as the magic bullet theory, that one, didn't it?
Yes,
There's a Pruder film. And where did the teeth come from there?
Spaghetti Western props.
We're up 2 teeth at the end of the night.
He's out there now. Desi Headland gets away here on the half-forward flank. Pavlich.
He's got it. No. Dumped away from him by Schwarz. Just held up a little. That breeze again. It looked as if he was going to swallow it. The lead was sensational. Had about 4 metres, but in the end, the punch away, and it's in the lively pocket this time.
I'm just looking at Heath Black's selection on Goddard, and Goddard's been told go deep into the forward line now, so they've obviously decided that Heath Black can do some damage running forward on Goddard. As we see, a ball up will be affected here, 20 metres out from the Dockers goal. Now, Goddard runs to full forward because they recognise that Goddard's defensive skills are not the best, so Black could be very damaging going the other way.
Here's Farmer deep in the pocket. Some chance from there. Well played by Jones, lunging at it, just directing it across the line. So Fremantle have the lead, but a fair bit of time consumed on a strong breeze. The breeze, of course, doesn't do it for you, but it does help. And the Saints doing a good job defending. And they come to the attacking side. This will be interesting. Schwarz takes the mark. They think they can work something, and they can. They've taken the gamble, and they're away. Fiora bounces it down in front of our commentary position, almost creeping down towards left half forward. They know he's there, though. Fiora stops now. Hand passes to Hamill. Nobody goes to Hamill. He settles, looks inside the forward 50, sets it up. Not the best finish. Or is it? Almost the mark down there. Josh Carr comes away. It was a valiant attempt by Ball. Longmuir involved. Now Walker in midfield. Runs doggedly and kicks inside the forward 50, but it bounces down towards that pocket despite his best intentions. Voss to Schwarz, and Schwarz punches it back on the outer side wing. He's had in excess of 6 possessions. What's that, 7 for Shores now as the ball is out of bounds on the far wing.
Dockers bench there. McManus, Murphy, Riley, Dunn and Gilmore. Now Sando pushes up into the middle of the ground. Hasn't actually in a bona fide sense been on the ball yet. Started on the half-forward flank.
Nice palm by Kazitsky, but not to his own man. In the end, Matthew Carr, Bell caught, Walker caught. Harvey through traffic beautifully. Kazitsky inside 50. Gehrig's lurking. Parker safe as ever. Black. Spearing pass is good to the outer side.
That is the versatility of Parker, isn't it? He's 190 centimetres, yet he's picking up Milne this time. Just because of his pace, he can cover those types of players, yet still play on key position also.
Walker to Woods, but he spilled it. Hayes, Hamill couldn't get there. Polak's hand wins out and will get a ball in. So as far as time played, we've doubled up 9 minutes and no goal to either side.
No.
I think St Kilda would be quite satisfied with this.
Yeah, for scoring the fight, the Saints are well in front. Kazetsky and Longmuir. Longmuir got hands to it, couldn't hang on. Del Santo taken down, appeared to throw it. Harvey, been terrific. Tackle from behind by Carr. Longmuir's hand pass taken by Josh Carr. Tried to feed it back towards a teammate. Penny was in there though. Down went ball, could have been taken high. No whistle. There is one now. Ball up. Umpire Grun is across there. So a bounce in gloomy conditions. They look okay because the lights are on. We've got some very impressive light towers at this ground. There's Dunn. Couldn't control it, or rather Dodd it was, who was in there. Sliding in is Harvey in the opposite direction, Woods, and the umpire will do it again. One of them. In fact, I think there's 4, and they've been on since we started. Ackland tried to knock it to a teammate and again succeeded that time. Hamill extricates himself from a tight situation alongside the centre circles, goes down towards half forward. Milne lurking, but so too Longmuir. Gets a hand pass away. Thornton hurriedly onto the boot. This will bounce inside the forward 50. The Dock is desperate for a goal. Maguire's got other ideas, heads for the boundary line, and that will do.
There wasn't a lot of finesse in the Thornton kick, was it? It was like pick the bones out of that if you get your teeth into it. Not a lot of finesse there. That's it. You can fall into the trap when kicking with the wind. Let's just kick the cover off it. Kicking with the wind, you should go with the attitude. It allows you to pinpoint the pass more accurately rather than just kick it as far as you can.
Hudson, Fiora, that's in the attacking pocket for the Dockers. Del Santo, and gets it to Hayes. Along the attacking side, Hamill's got a couple to beat. Can't beat them both. McFarlane. Nice grab. 12 marks against Port Adelaide last week in an 18 possession game. Of course, started with Hawthorn, 12 games there, and he will win the Footy Show Screamers competition this year. He can sing and has put out a couple of CDs already. Kicks to half forward. Kick not so good as his kick. Singing. Del Santo.
Good play.
Hamill. McFarlane the punch. Coming hard, Longmuir. Caught by Hamill. Dispossessed. McFarlane caught. Umpires found a free, and it'll go the Dockers' way.
I'll tell you what, they are choking them up. They're not getting much quick ball movement here. Longmuir sneaks away. Gehrig tried to cover him a few seconds ago, and they're on now out with Carr.
Matthew Carr played for the Saints, forward of the wing. Goes inside the forward 50. Appeared to be a push in the back on Pavlich. No free kick. His sock is off the ground. Not a bad policy in this situation. Down goes Baker. Sliding in was Penny. The umpires let them play. Webster did well. Got it to Pavlich. Now here's a chance. Medhurst brilliantly smothered off the boot there by Maguire. And now Jones. So the danger passed. Nice kick coming out to bounces obligingly for Harvey. To Ackland across half back goes to Boss. Untidy. Bell's got him. Took him down. Got the hand pass back towards Harvey. Harvey in his own defensive area. 8 possessions for Harvey. And the 8th, a pretty good one on the chest of Del Santo.
Harvey's running up against Peter Bell. Not exactly playing shoulder to shoulder with each other.
St Kilda still yet to score, but this quarter looking fantastic with each passing minute for Saints fans. Spearing pass towards ball, can't get there. Just tipped in the end by Polak to Walker. Longmuir. Bell twisted away from Hamill with relative ease. Short pass good. Josh Carr. High kick, long kick towards full forward, getting back. taking a good mark for the Dockers.
Could be Medhurst, is it?
Hazelby.
All right, well, Maxie Hutchinson was standing on the mark. Hutchinson's been picking up Medhurst. And Hazelby, a very clever player, Dan.
Exactly what you said there, Derm. It's all about kicking to spots, dangerous locations when you're going on the breeze. Not just thumping it, but that's the spot for it. They had some time, and Carr used it very well. He normally does, Josh Carr.
So to give the Dockers the goal they so desperately need from 30 metres out, post.
They flushed it, didn't they? As you can see, the rain is with us now.
But Hayes, it's Australian for oops, isn't it? When you here's Thompson. Thompson drives it up towards the wing. Ball. Oh, that's a wonderful mark in these conditions. Just terrific. He's playing very well.
Dick Fraser's on a long lead. He's going to get too close. Rob Harvey sneaks ahead.
Ball short to Thompson. Thompson goes down towards half forward. Oops. Here's Geary. Well said. Walker missed it. I thought for a moment, what did I say? Here's Goddard. Jarred out of there. Walker comes again, diving in his bell. McFarlane in trouble. Taken down. Matthew Carr heads for the boundary line. Penny tracks it back. They'll be content once more to let it go out, that pair of Saints, Penny and Jones.
Dan, it was you who always taught us never muck around with the English language. You'll end up saying that which you're having a joke with.
You plant the seed before every game, you know that. Who was that bloke in Adelaide?
Yes. Burgoyne.
Ball back into play. Fiora. Harvey. Safe hands. Can the Saints get a score here? So far, it's the best ever scoreless quarter by a team in the history of the game, you'd think. Chip kick is good. Late inclusion for the Saints, Justin Peckett. 14th season on the list for Peckett. Now Goddard. He can line up. Kick smothered. And well smothered too. Slick hands Gilmore. Couldn't find his teammate. Harvey. Inside 50 goes to full forward at 2-on-1. Hamill's the one. Might still win it. Longmuir and Thornton. Hamill taps it away from them nicely. Caught in the pocket. Ball back to Hamill. Centering pass. Kazitsky. They can hit the lead, the Saints.
What do they call it in rugby? One against the head. Not umpire head, but
Good smother. Good knock. That's a knockdown.
how good would this be if they got a goal into the breeze?
Is my eyes playing tricks, Jason McCartney, or is that rain slanting to the left now?
You're spot on there, Dermot. It swung around, the rain's come, and the breeze has changed direction.
Well, there we go. Yeah, have a look at the flags on the other side now. They're going the other direction,
So the
gents.
Saints are kicking. All of a sudden, it's not a good quarter for them. They're kicking with it.
Chris Connolly is a genius.
Lenny Hayes comes
How
to
about that?
the boundary. And Mark McGough gets his first run for the afternoon.
Justin Kazitsky, a chance to give the Saints the lead they should have, given that they're kicking with this breeze.
That is remarkable, isn't it?
Lines up from 47 and threads it.
He kicked it a mile.
Is it possible that the wind starts in the middle of the ground and goes to both goals? Just starts in the middle there. The source blows either way.
You've been watching too much Lord of the Rings.
He did get some carry on that kick, though.
Well, that breeze, look at the flags.
Yeah. In fact, I'm a bit bewildered because the two on the end are pointing away from us and the ones in the middle are going directly to the left. Fluky.
Well, how about that? It's like being on Discovery Channel. That wind has just backed around. It's going the other way. The rain arrived. The locals say, we've been talking to Sam the sailor, and he says that this will clear it all. So there you go. Jones has it across half back to Voss. He swings it out wide. Marked out there by the man who's got the only goal in the match, Kazitsky. Kicks down towards half forward. His station in this game. Geary comes up, knocks it to Harvey. Missed Peckett. Picked up by Gilmore. Falling to the ground. Got a hand pass away. Dunn crashing in with Schwarz. Dunn appeared to have the run of it. Down went Peckett. In goes Murphy. Tries to slap it out. Schwarz once more. Well played. Derrick. Down goes the umpire. There was the wind. Harvey, 45 metres out. Jabs it towards the pocket. Taken down there. I think it was McFarlane. Got it to Bell. Longmuir. Short one. Matthew Carr in the right back pocket. He'll settle it down just over 4 minutes till quarter time. And St Kilda lead by 3. And Robert Harvey, how many possessions? He's got 12. Wow.
Sure, went through a career averaging 12 for a match. Dwayne.
Matthew Carr, the ex-St Kilda player. Daniel Gilmore takes the mark at half-back.
The rain's backed off now, gents, so I have no idea what the wind's going to do.
Gilmore.
Already.
Well,
where do we go from
he
here?
folds up a little. They fly, no one can mark it. Goddard. Handball a little astray. Thornton comes at it hard. Tapped it to his own advantage. Out of the advantage of Medhurst. Too high against Hodgson.
Now we'll have a look at this because he's got some players very, very deep. Whether he gets carry on it, that'll come back at him.
Goes in the Hazelby direction and can't quite complete the mark. Might still sneak a snap away. Taps it. Webster. Toe poke. Sanctuary of the boundary line was always the best option for Aussie Jones. And we'll get a ball in down on that boundary line. Jason McCartney.
Yeah, it was interesting there that Grant Thomas made a move. He got Justin Kosiski into the ruck, pinched that goal, and then straight off, and Kane Ackland back into the ruck.
Remember those early kicks, so long, left to right, and that one just held up in the breeze. Seeing a few things for the first time in recent weeks. There goes Fiora across the ground towards right half back. Goddard. Harassed out there by Pavlich, who stayed on his feet. This ball stays in. Pavlich goes after it. Maguire's got him. Pavlich gets free. Hurriedly gains about 20 metres back towards half forward. Now Black. Black kicks it inside the forward 50. Hangs a long time in the air. Loose ball about 20 metres out. Plenty of Saints there. One of them eventually. Fisher picks it up. Goes to Del Santo. Got free. Baker gets it to Jones. Well worked by the Saints. Will it stay in? That was centimetre perfect.
That is as good a kick as you could get in those circumstances.
Almost as if he knew you were commentating, Dennis. That was right in front of us.
He did look up here, didn't he?
It did.
Yep. Said, here's one for you, Dan.
Have you ever gone with a millimetre perfect? Ever?
I feel involved now. No, I'm happy with this.
Did you catch the glimpse of him pointing to the commentary box after he kicked that?
No. This one's for you. Ball slapped toward the boundary line, and Riley Dunn, who was brought into this lineup with the late exclusions of Robert Hadrill and Aaron Sandilands, also dropped out of the side. Too tall for these conditions, and Riley Dunn, two-time All-Australian at under-18 level, which is pretty rare, into the lineup for game number 3. And the ball in, Josh Carr, wearing Simmons' old number this year. Hazelby tucked into the boundary line, saw Medhurst, and for some reason gave it to Voss. He's short, and the mark's been taken at half-back Mark McGough.
McGough towards the wing. Harvey couldn't hang on. It spills out of bounds through the interchange gates. Under 2 minutes till quarter time.
Disposals for the first quarter. St Kilda sitting on 80. Fremantle 60 marks. 21-14 favour of St Kilda. They've been finding the target with it. It's big Fraser Garrick comes to the bench. Milne goes back on.
Ackland, very good last week. The second attempt knocks it forward. Down goes Dunn. And the ball out of bounds once more. Well, mixed emotions in that box. They played it so well for about 20 minutes, and then the rain came. And now they're thinking, well, we could be going against the breeze for 2 quarters straight, all bar, say, 5 minutes or so. As Fraser prowls the boundary line. Ackland knocked it down. McGough likes these conditions. I remember 2 years ago in the Anzac Day game, won the Anzac medal for Collingwood. And a real pea super at the MCG.
Now, a snap kick out of this ball up here will find the St Kilda forward line, Hamill and Goddard, up against 3 key backmen.
Ackland, was he pushed in the back? No, says the umpire. As a result, Josh Carr to Longmuir. That was clever for a big man. Wonderful control. Pavlich on the lead. Can they rally and get a late goal here and take the lead, the Dockers? Pavlich, 70 metres out. Centres it. Bell is the target if you don't mind. The aerialist, Peter Bell, juggles the mark about 40 metres out directly in front.
I'm trying to work out who's picking up Belly because Rob Harvey is so hot that Grant Thomas has decided not to give him a break on the bench. He's put him to the half-forward flank, as you saw him lead up for that mark before. So trying to pick up who's on Bell. Might be Voss press in there against him just to try and tie him down until quarter time.
Huge kick, this one. Bell, 45 metres out, lets the breeze pull it back and splits the middle. Dockers in front, 30 seconds out from quarter time.
Well, these types of games aren't good for the sponsors, Dwayne. We can't get many ads away. But I tell you what, it's a contest. Peter Bell just got to the right spot. Wonderful kick by Matty Pavlich as well. You'd look at it and say, well, he just let up. Pavlich took a chest mark and pretty simple play. But that's the role of a centre half forward. The next kick after he leads up and marks that ball on the half forward flank must result in a shot at goal. That's what happened.
In the shadows of quarter time, Fremantle by 3 points. Ackland high. Couldn't hit a target with his palm down, and we might get one last play before the break. Jason McCartney.
Yeah, Dwayne, just for Dermot, it is Andrew Thompson who's picking up Peter Bell.
Well, he's gone into the middle again. So, yeah, halves pushed forward, didn't he, for a bit of a break. Then he's just on the skirt of the pack now.
Might not be time enough for a kick forward for a mark. There won't be. And a term that was rather strange to watch ends with the Dockers up by 3 points and just took the
man out there.
I suppose you don't lose it.
Kaczynski into the ruck for the Saints. The Dockers by 3 points. Longmuir high. Bell just couldn't quite trap it. McGough just couldn't quite kick it. And the umpire might have to bounce it. Kaczynski didn't have a good third term last week, Justin Kaczynski against Brisbane. Failed to get a possession. And there's Mark McGough on screen.
Saints have got one extra man in the back line. Way off to the left of screen. No need to go to back there. It's Brett Voss. So that'll be the direction he would have been receiving from Grant Thomas. At the other end, it is Thornton who is by himself. You would think that you'd like somebody who would have a bit more knowledge of the game, although it's a bit of faith shown in the boy.
In goes Bell. Came out pretty quickly. He's getting a free kick. It's against Hamill. Justin Longmuir, terrific in the opening term. 11 possessions. His career high is 23. Came against the Tigers, round 12 last season. There's Parker pushing out towards the boundary. Too nimble that time for Fiora. Goes long down towards half forward. In fact, it gets inside the forward 50. Big pack at the drop. Hutchton put the body in. Hand passes through the legs. Voss fell to ground. Pavlich slaps it out. Taken by Black. On his left side. Too slick there for Carr. Picked up by Ball. Kaczynski. Half back. Kaczynski sends it out towards the wing. Fisher gathers the bouncing footy. Across the body. Kick. Hamill. Was he interfered with? He'll get the free kick. And the umpire did think about that one. The whistle belatedly coming. Hamill quickly to the middle. Harvey.
Farmer was just willing him to take that step forward.
Harvey. His 13th possession now. 65 metres out to Geary.
What's the play on here? Yep, Thornton's a wake up to it. Good boy. Well done. Fraser Garrick, not 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10 when he gets the ball on this side of the ground. He looks inward to see if he can play on immediately. That's the chop on the arm.
Fraser Garrick, goalless last week, which happened twice last season. And he comes from right on the 50 and still hasn't kicked a goal this season. Pushed across the line by Longmuir, getting back very deep. He was goalless on this ground. I mentioned twice last year he was goalless on this ground. Round 14 against Port Adelaide, Fraser Gehrig, and still, of course, won the Coleman medal.
You have a look at these conditions now. They're benign. It is almost like we're playing indoor stadium football. There's not a breath of wind out there.
Long launch in two by Black. Kaczynski, though, gathers. Ball about to get gathered. Inside 50, coming hard and taking possession. Walker bounced off one tackle. Couldn't find a target with the handball. Hamill, Gehrig, maybe this time Fraser. No. And another behind. So 5 behinds and no goals for the season for the G-Train. And there's that oops.
Universal, isn't it? Away comes Parker.
It's catchy.
In front, the mark is taken by Matthew Carr. Black is on in the middle momentarily. Carr spots Thornton back towards the middle. Thornton, young emerging player, had a few pre-season injury problems. Comes to Walker with space up ahead. Pulls it back towards the middle. Hazelby. It was a good kick. Fisher came back from his man who was on the wing, but not in time. And suddenly a bit more poise about the Dockers.
This is where your centre-half forward earns his keep.
Oh, just look at the players ahead of the ball. A bit happened off the ball. Pavlich, meantime, oblivious to all of that, takes the mark, goes down towards full forward. Interesting by Medhurst. Socket towards the boundary there by Woods. After it goes Pavlich, keeps it in, flicks it to Woods. Woods running out of space, puts it out of bounds on the full. Well, a bit going on at centre-half forward, about 25 metres away from where Pavlich initially got the ball. 3 players fell over or went to ground. And then coming out on the lead, Medhurst in a bizarre act. Don't know what he was thinking. Too bad we can't share it with you. In the back pocket, Voss has it.
In fact, he was back to his old form within a minute last week. I think he had a bizarre act outside the boundary line, gave away a free kick inside a minute last week against Port. And he bizarre acts a goal as we're talking about him. The Dockers get their second.
You would have to say there wasn't a great deal of urgency shown by Mark McGough here, whether he was aware. One thing I've noticed about Mark McGough, he gets tackled quite often. Someone goes down behind play. He gets tackled quite often when he has no awareness that somebody's around him. I'm not too sure he does have any great awareness of the traffic around him.
And there seems to be some ill feeling down at centre-half forward for the Dockers. Moments ago, Medhurst hit the deck. Not much to that one. In fact, there must have been more than I gave it credit for, because he's getting a free kick.
Well, you touch in the face or the neck, and the umpires are red hot.
Was he?
Yeah. Oh, well.
Oh, that was borderline, wasn't
Well, that was paid against Rowan Smith last week, as we see Mark McGough come to the bench now for a lacklustre effort in attacking the ball that cost a goal.
So 2 goals off the one play for the Mercurial, Paul Medhurst. Anyone for 3?
We'll just keep the camera on this.
Something happened, didn't it, about a minute or so ago down there that has created some ill feeling.
He is a man with a difference. He kicked 9 goals against Brisbane, which is tough to do.
I think we need to dust him for prints on that one. I'm not sure it was neck, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was to the chest, but
he once said,
they're dropping everywhere this weekend.
He once said, if footy isn't fun anymore, I'll quit. I never want it to become a job.
Well,
so it takes a little differently than some.
He's got about half a season left, I reckon.
Kazitsky got it down to Hazelby, rolls it forward. Good chance here for good twist and turn black, but he got punched in the end and doesn't get the free kick. Peckett, long handball, Goddard, Jones from the wing, hoping for Hamill. Nice take in front of Thornton. Wants to play on quickly. The lead comes from full forward. He goes to Gehrig in his direction, not going to travel to him. Off hands it does, and then off his hands it comes. Fisher, Harvey, still working this around, but Peckett might have a shot here. He goes to the pocket. Gehrig takes the mark.
Now, he is not going to have a lot of confidence kicking at the goal here. I might have double mozzed him here. Then I might thread it for him. But this is a tough kick from this pocket for Big Fraser. Let's have a look. The accuracy from here. Well, he's just operating it fractionally better than 1 out of 2. 7 shots from there. No, 12 shots, sorry. He's got 7 in. 57% he's operating over the last couple of years. He's missed 7 to the left, 2 to the right. So he's a 1 out of 2 chance here.
Left foot, and he has tugged it left.
Make that 8 to the left. So that's a definite pattern, isn't it? 8 to the left from that pocket.
So 6 behinds for the season and no goals for the man who kicked 103. In fact, 103.39 last year in a very accurate season.
Come on, give him credit. He's got a goal now. 6
points.
Yeah. Dion Woods on screen there. Jeff and Vossi. Now that is actually a free. The umpire is watching it. That should come up the ground. If the umpire is 2 or 3 metres away.
And that's going on now.
Yep.
In the centre circle. That's not a replay of what happened earlier. So it's sparking up in the middle, and the emergency umpire is right alongside this.
I'm surprised the umpire did not play that. That was Matthew Head, was very, very close to that, like 2 or 3 metres away.
Yeah, he's still only, about 20 metres away. He's backed off. The emergency is right alongside it. Meantime, back at the ball game, Fremantle have established a 13-point lead. Or is it 12? 12 points. The mark is taken by Longmuir on the outer side, having a burster. Feeds it to Thornton. In trouble, Thornton. Longmuir, a chance to fatten the stats where he thumps it towards the boundary. All Saints there, though. Hayes needs to be careful. Terrific stuff. Spears a pass in. The mark is taken by Bosch. The next goal, very important in the context of this game, I would think.
Kane Ackland's just run on, and he is all by himself. If Rob Harvey can see him, he's going to kick a goal here, Kane Ackland.
Beckett's got it. The next link in the chain is the man Derm's talking about. Well, coming across, Pollack did pretty well. Ackland dropped the mark in any case, put himself under pressure. Well, he's going to figure in the next goal, perhaps. That was a clever mark by Hamill, 15 metres out.
If the ball's wet, this is not through for Sammy yet. Well, he saw Hazelby slam one into the post from the same distance at that end.
Notice he didn't try and shrug his tackler there,
yes.
Chris Scott style.
He could have got away with no contact again.
So Hamill directly in front. He should kick this one, despite what Dermot had to say. In he comes. Goal umpire goes a fair way, but he's got it. Saints needed that one.
Well, what a relieved look on Kane Ackland's face. Coughs this up. His head's turned to full forward already. He's thinking, I'm a chance to run on and kick a goal here. Frankie Peckett can use the ball. Nice kick. Lace out. Yeah, bounces back. And Aaron Hamill. Good body usage. Parker's up against him on that contest.
Dockers by a goal. It's still on behind play, mainly between Farmer and Baker. Farmer just telling the emergency umpire, we don't need you out here. Spent a lot of time with the team psychologist last year, Jeff Farmer. Lost 3 close relatives and also that assault charge. So had a pretty tough year. From the ball up, there's a free kick. The umpire might pull a few of these out now the players are getting a little angry. And it goes the Dockers' way. Josh Carr didn't know it was his, but he'll take it. One of only 2 premiership players in this Docker lineup. Chips it wide. Just a chip kick from McFarlane. And a nice pass to Pavlich. Takes it just outside 50. In fact, it was Pollack with the chip kick. See what this Breeze is doing now. He launches a long drop punt. Misses to the near side. And it's out of bounds on the full. Let's go down to Jason McCartney.
Yeah, Dwayne, you were spot on. It's a lot of bit of angst between Jeff Farmer and the close attention he's getting by Stephen Baker. The Dockers forwards are rallying and really supporting their little half-forward flanker.
There's Jones in the back pocket. Runs himself into a spot of trouble. Comes to Schwarz, who runs to his defensive 50 and sends play to Maguire on the outer side in some space. Maguire chips towards half forward. Pollack is going okay, step for step with Kazitsky, but was hanging on, at least initially.
Kane Ackland has to draw Longmuir away from the danger zone here.
Goes in their direction. Longmuir got a fist on it. Gehrig's camped over it through the legs of Goddard. Ugly, tough pack. Trying to force a passage as Goddard. He's taken down. Ball held to him. Black on top against his old team this afternoon. Interesting, you were playing Come Fly With Me. That was Frank, wasn't it?
Frank, yes.
Pre-game. Well,
yes.
You were talking about Heath Black. His greatest fear is flying. So Perth really not the place to be, I suppose, if you're a professional footballer.
He's had a chance to remedy it.
Well, that's right. Overcome it. Baker to ball to Penny. Now Schwarz inside the centre square uses the ball pretty well. No, Kazitsky couldn't hang on. Sliding in there was Longmuir. Peckett had it, lost it. Longmuir goes again. Showed a lot of courage, Justin Longmuir. Just dived after the football.
Well, it's on the Farmer behind play.
Well,
and Josh Carr, he put a headlock, Josh Carr, on Aussie Jones, and just really dragged into the ground quite severely and quite hard, and there's a free kick on that now. So the ball will be turned over where it is on the ground. Watch Josh Carr here. It's on Stephen Baker.
That's the problem. Other players feel compelled to get involved. As the ball goes in, Hamill claims a mark, and he's got it.
He's in a spot of form, Aaron. Very, very good last week against quality opposition in the Brisbane Lions in a losing team. And this is almost a facsimile, a carbon copy of the place on the ground where Hazelwood missed one. So that's a big takedown.
Is that a melee?
Just about. They'll look at that with the pen poised over the checkbook.
Same sire. So here's Hamill, 25 metres out, and really Chris Connolly should get Jeff Farmer off the ground. It was more like one possession so far, and they're in a situation where the game was running their way and suddenly it's turned against them. Hamill kicks another goal.
Yeah. Well, he was lucky not to get done before, about 3 or 4 minutes ago, Jeff Farmer. The umpire, I think it was Stuart, when wasn't it? Yeah, Matthew Head. He was very, very close to it. Now, Jeff hasn't given the free kick, and he's pleading that all I'm doing is getting held here, but had my eyes on it for quite some time, and Jeff, well, let's just say he instigated it somewhat.
Scores a level, and the fights are pretty much even on points as well. It's still going on behind play. Harvey goes on after the ball, as he normally does do. Gets it to half-forward Walker. In opposition to Thompson, takes the mark. Chip kick to Matthew Carr. Chip kick again, middle of the ground. Dodd. Headland. Wide ball, and Hazelby takes the mark just outside attacking 50.
Pavlich has one out in the goal square. He's going to try and reach him with a long one.
It's into the goal square. Pavlich has got a couple to beat here. Can't beat them both. Who's the crummer? It's Farmer, as you'd expect, but his man Baker comes up with the ball. He'll go back and tell Farmer about that one. Packett gets on the end of it. The field opens up a little bit here for the Saints. Hayes. Hamill provides one lead. Goddard's out wide. That's ignored. Ball. The captain this afternoon in the absence of Nick Riewoldt. First game as captain. Thompson. Half forward. Boundary line might beat them all. Hamill content to take it across. It's 21 apiece, and we'll get a ball in half forward for the Saints.
Boundary throw-in. Longmuir from behind. Hayes. Going to force it forward in there. Del Santo held with that, and he's going to get the free kick. And just getting back to those comments I made, we saw a picture just a moment ago too of that.
A lot of frustration in there at the moment, isn't there?
I don't know who started it. Doesn't matter much. It's just developed into a problem for Fremantle. That was what I was alluding to. Maybe get Jeff off, sit him down, and put him back on out there in a few moments. But suddenly St Kilda, for whatever reason, are relishing this contest and controlling the game. Here's Maguire.
They certainly have looked better since a couple of kerfuffles have broken out in the middle of the ground, though, the Saints.
Yeah, Maguire plays on. He's on the wing, looks down towards half forward. Not a good effort. Polak trapped it pretty well, the big man. Gets a hand pass away and was upended after he'd punched it in the direction of Hazelby. It's against Hamill. Hazelby to midfield. Now can the Dockers get a goal? Carr across to Black. This is Dodd. Hardly any breeze to speak of now. Remarkable.
Got to go to Pavlich here.
Whether we
must hit him
this afternoon. Black goes to half forward. Pavlich.
Great kick.
Two in his vicinity. Two Saints, that is, but he's taking the mark.
He's working hard, Matty Pavlich.
Yeah. Tough ground to play centre half forward. Well, you know better than most, Dan, but a lot of space to cover.
Oh, he's got to carry that or cover that amount of space out the other side, which is 100 metres across this ground as well.
Saints queue up. Farmer with the outside of the boot. Now a chance for a man who hasn't seen a lot of it. Webster just pops it across inside the 50. That was nice. And Longmuir is marked about 40 metres out, almost directly in front.
Now, this is one of those games where you can almost outsmart yourself in the ruck here, because the Saints are going with Ackland on Longmuir, and they've played them apart. Ackland's tried to pull him away from certain areas. All Longmuir's done is gone out there and rucked and played the ball, followed the ball, watched it, and played footy. Ackland's tried to get somewhere else, then they push Kazitsky up to cover him, and then they try and run Rob Harvey against him for a few minutes.
Any score, and the Dockers lead. And that's a lovely kick. He can kick it a long way. Justin Longmuir gets the goal. Fremantle by 6 points.
It just seems like, I think it was Schwartz gave him some coverage at some stage, and Goddard even ran with him for 5 minutes. Almost like trying to get a smaller player just to cover him, who can run perhaps a little bit more around the ground. But sometimes it's good just to say, right, I'm going okay. Let's follow the ball, let's look at it, and let's play footy. And that's all Justin Longmuir is doing at the moment, and he's doing it very well.
Dockers by a goal. Justin Longmuir, the goal kicker, Fremantle's original and best Longmuir perhaps. Back in the ruck after kicking the goal. Can't calm it down to advantage, and he'll have to do it again. Harvey with the most possessions of the game so far, but Justin Longmuir not far behind him. Hayes tries to thread a handball through Walker. Stole it. McManus thought he had a man out there wide. Coming hard with Webster. Missed everything. Fiora. Jones. Corralled pretty well by Ryan Murphy. Goes back. Thompson. How will it bounce? Nicely for him in the end. Hayes. Peckett protected a little. Well done by Ackland. He's protected his back. Called him into it. Justin Peckett.
Yeah, Fraser's got a lot of room out this side of the ground to lead into. Aaron Hamill now takes that option.
Long kick, tough for Hamill. Oh, he thought about it. Jeff Farmer takes the mark at half-back. Well, he had a tough week, Aaron Hamill. He didn't want to have to do it all again.
I've been watching the umpire, Stuart Wen, and if ever you've seen an umpire tag a player, he's been tagging Jeff Farmer, just getting nice and close to him.
It was a gutsy mark too. Didn't need the tongue afterwards. Murphy smothered off the boot. Goes again. Held to him by 4 Saints, if you don't mind. Show that to the grandkids. Took 4 of them. We'll have a ball up just forward of the wing.
Right, find it. Jason McCartney's there. A bit of verbals between Farmer and Hamill.
Yeah, there certainly is. Jeff's obviously not short of a word, that is for sure.
Fisher, lovely kick. Got out on the lead. Right at centre half forward.
Did you say he poked his tongue out?
Yeah, after so I've got to get off the watch too. I'm an umpire when. To take the mark, you should just say when. That's it.
I tell you what, Jeff Farmer, though, he gives you plenty to talk about in a game of footy, doesn't he? He makes you watch him.
There's Goddard.
Just the is self-explanatory.
No, it's not. No. He takes a terrific gutsy mark and then cheapens the mark. Goddard. Is that there? Chips. Hasn't got the carry. It's right off the line. It's a line.
Oh, terrible. That's a throw. That is a throw.
It's been penalised.
He tunnel-balled it. Well, Fraser can't get any closer, can he? Milne's run in and stolen it. No, the umpires will wake up and said, no, Fraser, it's yours.
McFarlane saying it used to be okay at Phys Ed. He needed a punter back there.
The only thing that didn't happen was Longmuir come and leapfrog him after he did it.
Greg McFarlane now the long snapper. 50 for the Fremantle Dockers and 50.
Well, he's going to get his first for the year here, Dino.
Yeah, he wouldn't miss from here when he did it.
Fraser Gehrig, point blank range. Puts it on the grandstand roof. And the scores are level once more.
Big Fraser's put that into Dwayne Russell's favourite Launceston coffee shop. Out the back there. Marks inside 50 in the second quarter. St Kilda 5, the Fremantle 1. They really only got the one person who looks like taking a mark up on the forward line, and that's Pavlich, and he's having to come up so far onto the wing, and kicks obviously inside 50, quite a great deal, but getting some return from Fraser now.
So the first goal of the year for Fraser Gehrig, and scores a level again inside 5 minutes to half-time. It's been a very entertaining contest in many ways. Chip kick not good. Del Santo cuts it off. Goddard just got one short before. Knows where they are now and misses.
Gave it a chance. There's a slight right to left as he would have been watching the ball go away from him. There's a poor kick coming out of defence though by the Dockers. Really hung it up there.
Gilmore was on a half volley. No, it did carry. Harvey asked the question. Just over 4 minutes till half time. Going very much in the balance. Longmuir been outstanding. Josh Carr on the wing, plenty of support running nearby, goes down towards half forward. Well, that's not a good kick. Most unlike him, pops it out of bounds on the full.
Now, he saw Schwarz there running through the back of screen. He's actually the opposite number right at this point in time to Justin Longmuir. He's hardly as damaging as Longmuir is in the opposite direction.
Saints by a point. Schwarz towards half forward, in front. Milne attempts the mark, almost got it to Harvey. Feeds ball, found a way through. Slashing, cutting, gets clear. 75 metres out, long down towards full forward. They battle. Big task for young Thornton. Did it well. He draws the number 22 every week. Does Hamill. Close to the boundary line. Thompson's got it. Looks back towards the middle. Great finish. Hayes. 40 metres out. Saints enjoying a good spell here.
Gee, wasn't he good, young Thornton, there, though? Aaron Hamill is rabid in his approach to get to the ball there. He just clawed and used every ounce of strength he had in his body, but Thornton stood his ground and placed himself between Hamill and the ball and kept following it out. Well done, though. Composure here, experience.
8 possessions for Hayes in this term. So some of the key playmakers for the Saints getting busy.
Dodd's had the job on him since the first bell.
Hayes. Now no breeze to speak of. A question of accuracy, and that's very accurate. Lovely goal.
Well, you call the stat count there, Dennis. He said he's got 8 for the quarter then, and, well, Dodd comes off. If you're a tagging player and your man gets 8 and the quarter isn't finished, you could assume that you're getting done. Well done by Thornton. I was impressed with that. These comes right from the goal scorer where he beat Hamill. Now, if Dodd's tagging, he's not in screen yet. There he is. Got drawn towards the ball. They're winning the ball out of the centre, the Saints.
First goal of the afternoon to Lenny Hayes, who led the Saints bullying program in schools a couple of years ago. Ironically, same year he was thrown into the fence at the Gabba and broke his arm. From the ball in, Gilmore, well played from half back, sends a long high kick inside 50. Pavlik's got 3 to beat. Farmer, he'll tell him about this one if he threads it. Around the body, and he has kicked it.
Beautiful. Oh, you don't teach that. That is instinctive. Gets to the front of the pack. It comes down. You don't teach that, and you try and tell players not to kick them like that because it's low percentage. When you've got Jeff Farmer's talent, you'll get away with it. And that's true that Lenny Hayes was leading the bully program a couple of years ago. Mal Michael leads it in Brisbane now.
Gee, that was a wonderful goal. Jeffrey Farmer. Instinctive off hands. His best effort against the Saints was for Melbourne. 5 goals, round 4 of 2000. That same year, he booted 9 against Collingwood, 8 against Fremantle, 8 against the Kangaroos, and 7 twice against Hawthorn and the Eagles. Amazing figures. That's why you went and bought him, I guess, if you're the Fremantle Dockers. The base of that pack, Josh Carr, Fraser Gehrig having a word to one of the fitness staff there. Meantime, Kazitsky gets high, knocks it down. Goddard couldn't control it. Thompson bumped as he kicked. It wanders out towards right half forward. Milne plays it in front of him. He's 65 metres from goal. Milne hooks it around the corner now, intended for Penny. Coming across on the angle was Bell. He was held without it, and he'll get the free kick. Fremantle still very much in this game. Just a point the difference. Didn't use the breeze in the opening term when it was strong left to right. Now it's almost dropped to nothing, so they've been a bit fortunate. Here's Gilmore. Off his step, Walker has to wait, made to earn it by Hamill, charging across, shoulder to shoulder in midair. And now Walker from left half back. 11 possessions. Shaw, McFarlane.
About to tick into the final minute before half-time. Saints by behind. And just about every player in front of McFarlane. All Saints behind the ball. High leap. No one can mark it. Harvey tackled by 2. Dumped. Schwarz went in and went out just as quickly. Farmer, Medhurst, Voss. Medhurst again. Voss again. Got it to McGough. Harvey, half-back. Walker stops him from playing on immediately, although it gives it to Schwarz. Nice handball, released him well. But McFarlane, who took those 12 marks last week, gathers yet another one at half-back for the Dockers, and they can have one last crack at hitting the lead before the main break.
Aaron Hamill pleading with the umpire that he was held by his opponent Gilmore there and get him to the McFarlane spoil.
Clock continues to run. McFarlane from half-back. In from the side, Kazitsky didn't complete the mark. Hedlund just on the ground, in trouble. Eventually gives it to Bell, to Walker. Still time, we're down to 12 seconds. Kicks inside the forward 50. Off hands at the back, Hazel, bit of Pavlich. Open goal beckons. Will it sit? Yes, it does. Dockers lead.
Should have done better. Should have done a lot better than that. The Saints, they had a 3-2 in that contest. One player went to ground. I think it might have been Maguire, who is the direct opponent of Pavlich. We'll get another look at it in a second, but a 3-on-2. There you go. And Hazelby so creative once again. The great players in this game of Aussie rules, the forwards, are very good at running up with their back to the goals, but running up the ground and meeting the ball and get it and win it like that. And then the great players are able to turn and run with the ball and be damaging like that and kick goals when they gather the ball in the same direction. Not many players who play the game can do that, have both those edges to their repertoire.
Couldn't quite get the kick away quickly enough, Lenny Hayes, and it's half-time here at Aurora Stadium, and the sponsor
Fremantle looking to stay unbeaten. The Saints looking for their first victory of the season. Longmuir, who's been a star, kicks down towards half forward. It spills to Woods, tried to flick it across towards Farmer, couldn't get it there. Woods comes again. Baker out of the pack, kicks it back towards midfield. Walker takes the bouncing ball, sends it very wide. Hazelby comes up, spilled it, has to go again quickly. Thompson bearing down, arched the back, got away, pulls it back towards the middle. Taken nicely by Medhurst, spins out of trouble, got boot to ball, it bounces outside the 50. Del Santo now with the middle open to him, kicks down towards right half forward. Hamill knocked away by Thornton. Well, he had Thornton, did Hamill, and he didn't have the football. Advantages paid. Walker once more, been busy. James Walker runs to the wing, kicks towards half forward, poor kick, and Hayes is in the road.
Lenny holds it up. Most handballs and the most tackles last year, Lenny Hayes, and another good season, and 21 possessions against Brisbane last week as well, Lenny. Finds Andrew Thompson, who also had a few Aussies last week, 23 possessions and a goal. Professional bench player now, Andrew Thompson, coming off the bench normally, and Voss takes a good mark, plays on, gives to Harvey, Fraser's on the lead, and he's got it. So Fraser Gehrig involved in what Dermot, I think, described as a kerfuffle. Was it a kerfuffle? It's officially a kerfuffle.
Yes. I'm not sure of the origins of that word, but it'll do. Big Fraser led back up the ground there on Luke McFarlane. McFarlane saw the sway of play come out. Rob Harvey just assumed he was going to go to goal, so made a beeline for the goal line himself. Fraser led up the ground on him.
See how his confidence is here. This to get the Saints back the lead, and he's got the yips and needs the long putter.
And the only one he's tapped in into the hole was sitting on the edge of the cup.
He tapped that in with the 7-iron he used for his approach.
Yeah.
Heath Black to bring it in. Fremantle by 4 points. To the pocket, and Thornton. What about kerfuffle? Is that a diminished melee or an enhanced melee? No, just wondering. Will they look at that? They'll have to look at that. That was, even though you called it a kerfuffle, it was a melee.
Well, they look at it. Piece of money come out of that.
Kick on the outer side. I just wasn't sure. Ackland takes the mark, plays on immediately down towards right half forward.
That'll play for the next national series.
Well done by Black, trying to backhand it out of there. Harvey underneath him. Well done by Hayes. Digs it out, gives it to Hamill. Too tall for Geary. Could have almost got a free kick. Spills outside the forward 50 for the Saints. Baker couldn't find it initially. Now he attracts a crowd. Still he goes. Farmer goes in with relish. Baker fell forward with relish. And we've got a bounce about 52 metres out. It's hard to get all your weight behind a fall, but Baker did his best. Brownie points. Tossed up over the top, Ackland. Taken by Polak. Walker liked his game, and that hurt.
He gave him the knee to the butt. I reckon he's dead-legged him very high.
I think he practiced that last week, didn't he, with Chris Johnson? The ball comes out towards the wing, close to the line. Controlled well by Webster. What a beautiful finish to Pavlich. 75 metres out, spots Medhurst on the move. Will it get there in time? That is a very strong grab. Despite the best efforts of Hudson flying over the top, he manages to hang on. Watch this again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that hurts.
Does. Tongues out.
And then sunscreen on the tongues today. Most of them have been outside the head more often than in.
Below sunscreen. I'm not sure about the sunscreen.
No need for that, really.
Medhurst. Just a step or two inside the 50 then. Probably the best spot to shoot at goal from. Slides this one across the face. Big leap from Ackland. Off hands, the ball goes back across the line. Forced behind. And we're back to 5 points as it was at the major break. Fremantle up by 5.
He's still on, although Walker a hobbler at the moment. Penny puts it wide. Baker chips it, hoping for Ackland. It bounced kindly for him. He knocked it past Voss. Gathered it well, Thompson. Gehrig's on the move. Ball in his direction. McFarlane, good punch away by McFarlane. Howell lays the tackle. No one can get a free. The umpire might have to sort this out. With a bounce or a free kick? He will go to the bounce.
Now, Ackland got in that chain of possessions going forward. Justin Longmuir had so much of it in the first half, but you have to remember he rucked in heavy conditions, unchanged for a full first half. Can he go the full second half in the same manner?
Koziski found Hardy, who lost it to Ball, who gave it to Hayes, who goaled it. Saints back in front.
Made something out of nothing there. Something out of nothing that was in very, very deep, very heavy traffic. 15, 16 players around that. Quick give, well, sort of give. A give up, really, but finds its way to Lenny Hayes, and good finishing there. How does Rob get rid of it in the end? He throws it away. They have been a bit stiff put there, you would imagine, the Fremantle Dockers.
Lenny Hayes, 2 goals this afternoon, 16 possessions to boot. He's yet to reach 30 against the Dockers. Around the centre circle, it comes wider. Black had it, then lost it. Harvey, 20 possessions for him to Ball. He started so well and continues to get a lot of it. Gehrig had it knocked away by McFarlane. Got up, certainly hasn't got the football. Socket off the ground by Polak. That's okay. Bell gets a hand pass to Matthew Carr in his defensive area. Little chip short of the wing. Josh Carr is running hard. It bounces back towards Harvey. Harvey to Thompson. Thompson the short one. Walker gives himself a fitness test. Moved okay too. Got it down to Black somehow. Peels off with the football. Smothered by Thompson. In goes Goddard. And he's taken down, I think, by a pair of cars. A multi-car collision. So we've got a bounce. Out at right half forward. I hope it is Josh, is it? At the base of that pack. It was. So he was in the pincer movement from Matthew and Josh. And they both pinced. Up went Gehrig. Off hands McFarlane. This is Thornton.
Thought about a short path, but he wants to go longer. Farmer's one-on-one with Baker, and he does decide to just flip it over the top to Dodd in the end. Farmer's still one option, Pavlich the other. Farmer runs past for the handball, ignored again. Pavlich, he's kicked it straight to Ackland, who will reload the Saints. So no, he doesn't. It's a ball in. Good option in the end for Fremantle to go with that long kick.
He's a lateral thinker, the Pav.
Kane Ackland, a bit disappointed with that. At one stage he was the 5th option ruckman at Port Adelaide behind Primus, Slade, Brogan and French. So he'd be pretty happy to be playing for the Saints. 12 games in just 5 years at Port Adelaide, Kane Ackland. From the ball in, Headland, caught, Schwarz, stolen. Saints are away. Little give to Ball.
Go real long, he should now.
Thought about a bounce, goes to Koziski. No, Thompson! Had to look back and it was there. High kick. Gehrig a couple to beat again. Fraser, will he keep this alive or let the boundary line gobble it up? That's a pretty good option, and just a little hip and shoulder on the way through. On that boundary line, Jason McCartney.
Yeah, Dwayne, look, young Scott Thornton, he's been moved away from Aaron Hamill. He's been replaced, the more experienced Shane Parker on him.
And Big Fraser, you'd be advised almost to stay as close as he can to goal. He's not going to out-sprint Luke McFarlane on the lead. I mean, Lukey's a junior 400-metre sprint champ, and he covers the ground very, very well.
Boss close to the boundary line, skids, kept it alive. Kazitsky to Hayes once more. Very high ball. Gehrig will fly from behind, outnumbered. It's punched away down there, I think, by Polak. Now, the umpire is playing a free kick against Gehrig.
Yeah, he put out the right forearm. I think you'll find it here. The left one he's got him. He's gone with the right at the back of the neck. Yeah, he got him both. Good on you, Fraser.
Actually, McFarlane was the climber. This is Thornton in the back pocket. 6-5 plays 6-4. Slight breeze going right to left, but nothing to speak of. It was a howling breeze when this game started. Fremantle didn't use it well, but they're still in the game because it changed late in that first quarter. The kick from Penny, smothered by Webster, got it from Bell. Now Black in midfield, goes down towards half forward. They should get a goal from this. Headland onto the loose ball, needs to control it, looks up, heads for home. And what's he done? He's kicked it behind, has he? No, I think it's okay. It is, it's a goal. Just.
I would imagine that is something that is going to be really irking Grant Thomas here. This is probably the best run they've had, but for Troy Schwartz to let Des Headland get goal side of him that far when Fremantle are in control of the ball through the middle, that would really, really irk Grant Thomas. They look good through the middle there, the Dockers.
St Kilda's coaching staff having a think about Headland being free there. It's in good form early season. Headland, 23 possessions against Port Adelaide last week from the ball up. Hamill came in quickly off the square. Gave to Del Santo, got one high, but he fell into it. Umpire said it was a free advantage. Goddard, a little push in the back. Thornton gets back. Last line of defence takes the mark and chips to Polak, and the Dockers are away.
Important touch on the back in the end, wasn't it? Just dropped him of his range, 4 or 5 metres, enough for Thornton to get on the end of it.
Was it a push in the back? Because it was a push in the back, but it wasn't paid a push in the back.
Technically it is. But you know they never paid him.
There's Bell to Dodd, up at centre half back. Fremantle by 5 points, as it was at half time. Swings it wide. McFarlane. Now, where will he go? A sea of players up ahead.
Now, this is the type of ball that Longmuir was finding in the first half regularly.
Not a good kick off the side of the boot. Hamill didn't have to mark it. It was Johnny on the spot there to get the free kick. It was out of bounds on the full in any case.
Yeah, Longmuir sat back on that one, Dennis, side on. He was never going to be used. So whether it's a little bit of fatigue creep in, I know Ackland didn't play as well as Longmuir in the first half, but he rucked the whole first half, and is he tiring a bit now?
Kick to half forward, Bell.
There he is.
There he is, yes.
Sitting back behind the ball now rather than getting in dangerous positions.
Thornton to Dodd, taken down by Del Santo. Well, it's a big ground. You cover a lot of ground as you try and fill up the holes. Chris Connolly working the phone there.
Well, he's making his demeanour felt.
Yes. Very animated. We've got this bounce down at left half forward.
I think he'll throw it up from here.
No, technicality.
Sorry, man.
No, it's fine. Down goes Del Santo. Well, it says something about the ground being a little bit soggy too, getting back to Justin Longmuir. Big ground, soggy ground. It's hard to go for 4 quarters, and they're asking him to do a lot. Thompson trying to get through, nothing doing there. Thompson has been a terrific stalwart. We mentioned spending a lot of time now on the bench, but had a career high 33 against Fremantle, round 12, 2001. A few moments ago took a wonderful mark running with the flight of the ball. Still has a lot to offer.
173rd game today.
23 possessions last week as well, so did play well last week off the bench. Hayes wide. Gary's got 3 to beat here, and he manhandled one of them.
He's just got to not manhandle. He's giving away the ball every time. What he has to do, if there's 3 or 4 there, he has to make the contest. And as simple as that. He's not going to mark it. Just bring it to ground.
Longmire, Thornton and Hazelby all combining in the end. Untidily, Matthew Carr.
It's simple as that. You just have to accept he's not going to win the ball. But what he has to do is make the contest, and the rest of the troops will arrive on the move, and then they're very dangerous.
They're very selfish just to get away free kicks.
It is.
Really,
It's almost like you're ganging up on me. I'm going to give you one for your corner here.
Yeah.
So, you know, don't think you're getting away scot-free. It is a selfish attitude to play if you do it that way.
Matthew found brother Josh, who heads toward Pavlich, couldn't take the mark. Ball. Wobbly kick by Maguire. Here's the man we were speaking of, Thompson, and he can't keep it alive. He actually debuted for the Saints at the age of 24, which is fairly old by modern day standards.
There's the coaching staff there. Matt Rendell, Grant Thomas in the centre, Nick Riewoldt behind him.
Goddard knocks it down. Over the ball, Matthew Carr. The trickles out. Well done by Thompson. Got a sense of humour, sent it back into the pack. Bell, Polak, just falling away from the kick. Controlled it pretty well, though, as he was taking a back step. Josh Carr's got it. Midway between left half back and left centre wing. Told to hurry up. Carr hugs the boundary with the kick. Well, how about this? About 5 Saints at the drop of the ball. Ackland takes the mark. Pavlich was grounded. Body to body with his man.
You've got the playmaker Del Santo side on, but they man him up now. He'll kick it back to his opposite number.
Polak.
Both teams are playing a loose man in defence. Well, both ruckmen are playing 70 metres apart from each other, and then you've got a key position type player as a loose man in defence as well.
Carr, back to Longmuir. This is Webster inside the centre circle, swings it to Hazelby in space. Now he can run inside the 50. He settles, heads for home. He starts at left. It's trying to work back to the right, getting back Penny. And he played it pretty well, Penny. Came back and crashed the pack and knocked it across the line.
Penny's another one who is a loose man in defence at the moment. Big Fraser coming off, so Grant Thomas, yep. I think he's thought along the lines as well, Dennis, that it has been a selfish attitude by just giving away free kicks because he's been overwhelmed by numbers, rather than just say, right, let's do the team thing.
Our line. Yeah.
Our line, I'll go with you on that one too. You said it first.
In case Fraser's looking for me after the game, I want you alongside.
Maguire got it from Del Santo, but Kazitsky spilt the mark, and the Dockers might reload here. Black gets it from Longmuir, finds Hazelby on the wing.
Ackland straight down the line here, and that's what holds up Hazelby, looking inboard. Ackland doesn't quite make the contest then, and now he's caught in between. He's got to move it quickly before Ackland can get back and set up 50, 60 metres down the line. Longmuir comes to the bench now for the first time for the day.
Riley Dunn.
Or does he?
Literally the man Freo got when they gave Crode back to Hawthorn. High kick. Inside 50. Hedlund thought he was going to mark that. Baker. Head on. Big crunch. How will the umpires see this one on Medhurst? He might bounce
come on. They're one short at the moment.
They're playing 17 on the ground, the Dockers, at the moment.
I'm touching my shoulder with my right arm. That's the universal signal for one short.
Now, they're confused. Jeff Farmer runs on, and he's thinking, no one's come off. He doesn't know that there
was like the change on a triathlon from the running leg to the cycling leg.
That wasn't an interchange. That was transition.
What happened there, Jace?
Yeah, Jeff Farmer wasn't ready. He came off with cramp probably about 2 minutes earlier. Longmuir had come off. Jeff was still sitting down, and he decided to wander on, but they were a bit concerned, and they had a big bit of a head count on the interchange first of all.
It's not a good feeling when you count 5 on the interchange bench.
Lateral thinking, rather than try and count them out on the ground from ground level, they counted the bench instead.
Oh, not happy again. That's right. Doing the audit in the box at the moment. Del Santo gets a hand pass away. This is Penny. Penny towards midfield. This will be interesting. Well done by Fisher. Won the contest. 2 young tyros there, Gilmore and Fisher. Into the path of Peckett. Peckett going down towards half-forward. Kazitsky comes on the lead. He's got it. This is not beyond him. 55 metres out directly in front.
Aaron Hamill's calling long to the goal square. Dion Woods is trying to... He's a loose man in defence now. He's trying to chop off the lead. Dion, get on the line. Your arms are about 18 feet long.
He's kicked it to Hobart. Out of bounds on the full, though. That was a big kick. and Black to take the free in the pocket. Under 6 minutes to three-quarter time. Oh, wow. Get out there.
He's looking down at the interchange area.
I think it was get out there and oops.
Yeah, he was looking straight down at that. He's not happy that they were 17 on. Yes, a lot of oops in that. 17 on the ground for probably 45 seconds or so.
Black found Josh Carr. Headland couldn't find the ball, and the boundary umpire will do the job. There's Headland. He'll be a little disappointed with that. Number 1 draft pick when Brisbane took him in '98. Premiership for the Lions in 2002. But admitted he was homesick up there and pretty happy to be back playing out of Perth. From the ball in. Well played by Carr, just knocked it forward. Del Santo caught, good tackle. Fisher caught, good tackle by Carr. Dispossessed. Hayes thought about going the long kick, went the chip kick in the end. McGough to Schwartz. Spearing past to Milne. He's got some space. He decides to give to Harvey. Now Hamill. Good hands. And he'll line up at goal. Aaron Hamill with a chance to draw scores level yet again.
And the Saints have rejigged their back line. Maguire comes to the bench. And that sends Penny, who has been loose man in defence over the last 15 minutes. He now has an opponent in Pavlich. And Fiora came on as the 18th person on the ground. Then he'll go straight into the midfield.
So Aaron Hamill with a couple of goals already. The captain from 2003 under the Elizabeth Taylor policy down there at St Kilda. And this to draw scores level. As we tick into time on third term, across the face again, and only a behind.
Marks inside 50 this quarter. St Kilda 9 for the match. St Kilda 9, Fremantle 3. So they would seemingly have the more potent targets to aim at, the Saints, but find themselves adrift, albeit only by 5 points.
Black to bring it in.
He's coming this side.
It's been a scrappy game, but not an easy ground to play, particularly in these conditions. Carr from behind, falls in front. Gilmore loops it over the top. Good by Woods to Hazelby. Josh Carr, forward of the game, on the wing, goes down towards right half forward. That's a good grab. Pavlich plays on immediately. Didn't see Peckett coming across on the angle. Everybody stopped. Medhurst tries to flick it across to Farmer. Well done, Baker. Got between the pair and forced it behind.
Pavlich, I've watched him then. He's so quick to change his direction on lead, to just give a dummy lead and then quick to go the other way. He wrong-foots his opponent very quickly and gets away from them, that 2-3 metre lead.
Shaw's to Penny. One down from behind. Wonderful stop by Medhurst. Great chase. He immediately cramps up. Now Pavlich wants to take the kick, with the umpire insisting it's Medhurst to take. Now he's on his feet, he seems to be okay. 60 metres out.
Now this is their problem. They've only taken 3 marks inside their forward 50 for the day. One has been by Hazelby, one by Peter Bell, who drifted in, and the other by Longmuir. He's the only tall man. Hang on, somebody's been felled here, haven't they?
Pavlich was. The umpire didn't play a free. So Medhurst to be pretty happy that the umpire said it's your kick still. Goes wide to the pocket. Fist wins out that of Fisher. And we'll get a ball in the pocket.
I still think Pavlich has been fantastic how he's led up the ground. The breakdown area for the Dockers, the way St Kilda are putting them under pressure, is that domain between true half forward and centre wing. So he has to come and meet it. But then when he gets it, he can't be inside forward 50 once he kicks it forward.
Kazitsky in traffic here. Baker. It's the man of trouble. But McManus leads in the race for the ball, though Peckett, I think, gave up the chase, realising it was going to skid across the boundary line, and will get a ball in. Fremantle has not won its opening 2 games of the year since '97, and there's one man who's played in every Fremantle season, one of the 3 in this game, Sean McManus, off the bench.
Kazetsky straight to the man that Dwayne was talking about, and he kicks it behind.
Read it beautifully.
Yeah. So the lead is 7 points, which in its own way is handy. Del Santo quickly to Baker. He can run it out. Baker back towards the middle. Harvey Getting there was Woods. They've got 2-on-1 for a moment at least. Arriving quickly, Penny through the legs of Hayes. Well done by Farmer. Knocked it towards Woods. Over the top came Webster. A hand pass comes across towards Bell. Down he went. Patledge to Woods. Right on the 50. Bends it back. All Saints back there. Del Santo stops it. Hard against the behind post. McGough. They'll bring it out again. Same route, at least initially. And still, he goes back towards the middle. Hayes. Hazelby's got him. In trouble now, Del Santo outnumbered 4-on-1. Crawls after it. Crashing in there was Black. And the umpire, no alternative but to ball it up. Good pressure by the Fremantle Dockers.
Now, Mark McGough, you would look at him and say, why didn't he kick it just straight down the ground? It is up to the half forward at the other end to at least give the option to make the contest, and the worst case scenario, push it over the boundary line after he hasn't been able to mark it. But he looked up and he saw big Justin Longmuir 70 metres down the line, who was going to gobble up anything he kicked down there. So, through positional placement, finds his ball still in the vicinity of danger.
Inside 2 minutes to three-quarter time. Oh, a little high, that one on Black. And does he get a free kick? No. Still a little niggle from Jeffrey Farmer. Just off the back. Stephen Baker, they've been at it all day. Spoken about Farmer. Stephen Baker doesn't mind it either. Bell from the wing. 90 seconds left. Carr, boundary line, and will get a ball in. In fact, there's been some good characters wear that number 10 jumper at St Kilda. Carl Ditterich, Spider Everett, Wow Jones, Roy Kazali going back a bit. Another ball in. Kazitsky takes out of the air, almost a throw. Peckett has an option on in the midfield. It's Mill, ignores it. High ball and Longmuir, strong hands, takes the mark, saving mark with just over a minute to the final break.
Can they build from the back here, the Dockers? Thornton away, runs his full measure. That's a pretty good kick too. McManus favoured by the kick. Thompson came back with courage and goes again. Well played. Tried to slap it forward. Fiora couldn't control it. And eventually it's tied up on the wing inside the last minute of this third term. Fremantle by 7 points. And the Saints, predicted by many as certainly a potential grand finalists, and by some as the eventual premier, could start the season 0-2 if they drop this one. Milne's got other ideas though, and still ample time, of course. Longmuir comes up, just that kick behind the play, takes the mark. We're down to 25 seconds, time enough. Comes across to Black. Black gives it to Carr. Now they've got a problem. Carr tries to go back to Black. He tries to shrug loose. Well, that's not one for the sea leaf for either player. Coming through, McGough gets it only as far as Thornton. He's upended. We're down to 5 seconds. The danger may have passed. That's now full. Clock is down to a second. McGough wants to go. So I doubt the Saints can score despite the best efforts. They might. No, it was in flight. It was in flight, the footy. Milne wants to steal the football, but has to give it up. Three quarters. Decide to bring the sun out, just as you mentioned his name, Dermot. So in bright sunshine, 7-point lead to the Dockers. Final term underway. Kaziski in the ruck now. Ackland on the bench. Bell somehow got it out. Hayes, Harvey, arguing about whose it might be. Bell, McManus drives through. Umpire might have to sort this out. Holding the ball against McManus. And it'll be a Saints free kick.
Kaziski opened up in the ruck in this quarter. He gets the ball now. Longmuir's run ahead of it. Now Voss, if he plays on, he could just about clear him. He's going to try and honour the lead. Fiora's lined up in the forward pocket this quarter.
Voss, who broke his jaw against Fremantle in round 7 last year, to half-forward Milne. Spent a bit of time on the bench this afternoon. Centering kick, Peckett a couple to beat. Longmuir nearly beat himself. Free kick behind play. Umpire says play on to advantage, and Black takes the mark back pocket.
If he can reach McManus, he's got away.
He can. He uses the ball so well. He did last week as well.
He was brilliant by foot last week, Black.
McManus to Carr, and Carr ditto. Finds Headland. Their usage of the ball was quite outstanding in that victory against Port. As a result, the Dockers find themselves deep in attack. That could have been high. That's going to be paid.
Well, the one exception, if you take this passage in isolation, 3 or 4 possessions going up the ground, And Maguire has got the job again. Grant Thomas has set him for it again after three-quarter time. It's the Heath Black kick, a 55-metre pass in damp conditions that sets up the play. You cannot underestimate the value of somebody that kicks the ball well.
Not easy to do. There was a kick last week that found Dion Woods in the goal square that broke the back of that game. Magnificent. Just getting that extra 5 metres. But now the ball is with Pavlich. You'd expect him to boot this one, and if he does, it's going to be tough for the Saints. Matthew Pavlich going at his second, rams it into the post. They've never won on this ground, and the margin now 8 points. That's their lead, and you'd venture to say they're going to what is the scoring end as things stand.
Voss finds Schwarz. Interestingly enough, Pavlich saying that they lost their harmony, the Dockers, last year when they were in the 8 but lost their last 4 games and missed the finals. In fact, they were 6th with 4 games to go. Pavlich, Bell, slips it out to Black. Josh Carr, still a slippery ball. Bell, chip kick, not 15. Headland, a long launch of the ball and misses.
Matty Maguire is in the hands of the trainers out on the half-back flank. And that marking contest, he's either winded or he's copped one in the area, which we hate talking about, but he doesn't get up from that crouch position right there.
So he's hurt at the moment. Just watch, Dermot. Keep an eye on that if anyone jumps off the top rope.
Well, no one's rubbing him, so I can hazard a guess at where he's hurt.
And Voss, the ball is obviously being photographed. It is the same ball that went in there. And now Voss had to fingerprint it. Amazing. They had the ball in the lineup. Anyway, Voss has got the footy.
He'll get it here, Maguire.
Drives it in that direction. Maguire comes across, takes the mark. That was a wonderful kick in to Maguire into the path of Beckett. Beckett tracks it up towards half-foot, had to wait, feeds it back as it turned out to Ball, to Fisher. At close quarters, Maguire, very close quarters. Kicks inside the forward 50. It's a tumbler, but effective enough.
Boss comes off, Aussie Jones goes back on. They want some foot skills.
See what Hamill does with this. He's booted a couple. Will he go for home? That'll tell us something about the conditions out there. If he thinks he can kick it, he's just outside the 50, and initially his reaction was, and still is, I venture to say, with that movement up the head.
Pulls them left when he tries to go long.
Well, he's just set this one up, but that was, I think, what was troubling him. Longmuir was back there, but it says something about what is the scoring in. Moments ago, Headland let loose from 50. That time, Hamill trying to manufacture something. Oh, well done, Aaron Hamill. Came back, knocked that ball away from Woods. Picked up by Hayes, goes to Del Santo. Across the ground, Goddard is free, 55 metres out. Goddard's got it, 7-9. Oh, Mills 6-6. Goes long down towards the pocket, and Milner will get there in time. Well done by McFarlane. Came back, gave a contest, reaches in. Interesting. And we've got a whistle and the ball up in the pocket.
Once again, I mean, you wouldn't say it was a bad kick by Goddard, but had the ball been in Heath Black's hands, he would have gone lower, flatter, more direct, and it's quite likely Milne would mark. You cannot replace people who can kick the ball.
Milne ran into a dead end, no free kick. Parker knocks it across towards Hazelby, gives it to Bell, needs to be precise here. Well, it turned out okay because he put it into the path of Woods, who gains another 15 metres, slaps it along the boundary line.
Gee, they are long arms on Dion Wood, aren't they? Have a look at him.
He's off.
Well, there's one heck of a wingspan.
He's in the hanger now.
Puts on his tracksuit top and only comes up to his elbows.
Josh Carr forced to do some ruck work. Daniel Gilmore takes it across the line, playing just his 9th game. Grandfather, 1954 Bulldog Premiership hero Brian Gilmore. So he does have a pretty good football pedigree. Ball back into play. Fisher doing the ruck work for the Saints. And once again, can't break free, and Gilmore drags him down. In fact, Brian Gilmore, he passed away in a truck accident when Daniel Gilmore's dad, Ross, was just 7 months old, and he was presented with his grandfather's Bulldog jumper when he played his first game for the Dockers. Hamill
Lewis down there,
picks it up, pops it to the pocket, off Kosicki's hands, tackled. Bell came out with it somehow. one way then the other, and they've got an open side here. Thornton has some space to work with.
And they've got runners too, one in the middle. Hazelby stayed back. It should go to Hazelby. Well, Thornton decides to go to Black. The man was indecisive between that pair and eventually was in no man's land. Now Hazelby runs on the angle, takes it close to the boundary. They could have done better there. Thornton, not an experienced player, maybe just didn't see the potential.
What the Saints are doing now is double teaming Pavlich as he comes up to be on the end of this. It'll be Penny from in front and Maguire to push and shove from behind.
Maguire and Pavlich is going to get a free kick, is he? Well, it's going to be a Dockers free. Advantage is paid. Kick comes forward from the Dockers inside the 50 from Headland. Maguire's in front. Well, half the players out there did stop. What are the commentators? Jones gets a hand pass away. Schwarz.
The corner.
I think I did. Harvey, I presume you're talking about me. Old was in there. Del Santo from the wing goes down towards half forward. Getting back is Gilmore. End-to-end stuff at the moment. Two went after him. That was a mistake. Polak dragged down. Clever kick. Now Bell into space. Running up towards the middle. Needs some relief and goes across. Oh, that's clever. Taken by Dunn. Dunn inside the centre square. This could be a turning point. Long. Midhurst turns. That's a turning point. He found the ball first and kicks a goal.
And Maxie Hudson berating himself there. He's up against Medhurst, but this is a beautiful bit of touch. He only makes up his mind off 2 steps and puts it into Dunn's vision and really doesn't make him break stride all that much. Now this one here, long deep kick, just a little shove forward with the hands in the back. You cannot pay that in the back, even though Max has moved forward quite considerably. And he's got the drop.
Three goals to Medhurst. And Grant Thomas has some thinking to do. Fremantle now up to their biggest lead of the game. 13 and a half minutes from full time. Kick towards McManus. Off his hands. Ball captaining this afternoon. He needs to get some inspiration going. And the ball socket by Maguire off the deck and out of play. Light rain still falling, but only on half the ground here. The other half is in bright sunshine.
It's a big ground.
It is.
It's another suburb, the other wing.
Ball back into play. Carr forced to do some right work against Ball. McManus rode him a little. And Luke Ball, free kick at half-back for the Saints.
Rob Harvey has come to the bench now. The Saints in the second half have played Del Santo off a back flank, just trying to get his foot skills as they come forward on a day where it's been pretty tough to kick the footy.
Bayon's the call. Ball close to the boundary line. Fisher was up, couldn't hang on. Del Santo
Good vision.
to Hayes. If the Dockers can get the next goal, you sense it'll be tough for the Saints. Longmuir in 2 minds. Make that 3, goes after it. Stolen away by Goddard. Comes to Milne. Milne pulls it back. Clever by half. Too clever by half. Missed down there by Longmuir, but he got in and interrupted the flow. Well worked by Black, knocked it back to Bell. Good chase from Milne, affected the kick. Peckett picks it up. Hand passes across to Gehrig inside the 50. Can he dob it? No, he can't. He's had that sort of day. Longmuir again tidies up and goes to Black. He's caused them fits back there, Justin Longmuir,
Hasn't he? And he hasn't played, any incredible game in terms of preparation. He's just played a kick behind the play, watched the ball coming towards him and put himself on the end of it. St Kilda have kept kicking it to him.
Black around the outer side. Webster was up. Awkward bouncing ball. Thompson lacking support. Did he put it out on the full? No. It bounces out as we go down to Jason.
Yeah, Fremantle's got great use out of their loose man in defence. Obviously, this quarter it's been Justin Longmuir. Last quarter we saw Scott Thornton get a lot of the football, and at times have also had Graham Pollock, so it's worked really well for him.
Who needs Ruckman? Again, the 2 small men go at it. Carr and Ball this time. Black caught a little high. Umpire said no. We might get a ball up. Milne. Toe poke to advantage. Fraser doesn't get there. Fraser Gehrig and McFarlane content to see it out of play. There's the Saints bench, and their ruckman Kane Ackland is part of it. McGough, Voss and Harvey also. Harvey, you would think, being saved for one last tilt in this 4th term. Couple of ruckmen this time go at it. Kaczynski and Longmuir. Kaczynski's palm Had a fair bit of the leather. Del Santo dragged to the ground well by Stephen Dodd, and the umpire will have to sort it out again. 15-point lead to the Dockers. The biggest lead of the game so far, but the game still well and truly alive.
Need the power of Aaron Hamill around this one. He needs to find some effort here.
He was in there. Hayes twice, very hard on the ball. The acting skipper moved it about 10 metres ball, but straight to Thornton. Missed by Peckett in front. Did well to get in front of Webster coming back. Tried to flick it across towards Goddard. Realises he has to do it himself. Hand passes towards Thompson. He was taken down. Crashing in was Webster. Over the ball is Black. Black at half-back peels off. Poise comes to Dodd inside the centre square. Flicks it across to Dunn. Dunn was led. Bad luck for Peckett. He tried to take him around the waist. It just slipped down. Quickly done. Sends it inside the forward 50. Working in front down there. Schwarz spilt the mark. Maguire falling to the ground. Got a hand pass away to Fiora. Fiora goes out to Thompson. Nothing on the outer side for the Saints. He comes back to the middle. Hayes takes the mark. Forward at half back. Del Santo is on.
They're manning up pretty well here, the Dockers. When St Kilda get the ball, there's no free men, but every time the Dockers get it, they seem to be in space.
Well done, Longmuir, but only as far as the man Kemp in front. Ball 55 metres out. Will it run on? It skips on and misses by less than a metre.
Just had his leg touched at the point of kicking, and that might have been enough. Parker. Thornton. Back pocket. So time, a friend of Fremantle now. 10 minutes still remaining. It's been a low-scoring game. Thornton gets the hurry up. High kick. He's hoping for Polak. Kazitsky against him. Hazelby stayed down and crumbed. Josh Carr. Headland takes the mark and thought about playing on. Schwarz held him up well. They've got loose men in the middle. Gilmore's one of them. Just over his head. McManus though a chance. Played for the free kick and got it.
Tell you what, Troy Schwarz just falling off the back of Des Headland, misreading the flight of the ball and allowing Headland to take that mark out on the wing. That's where the ball gets turned over so much, because so often that has to be a one-on-one contest, and they're tough to win. But to actually misjudge the ball in flight that easily, and then the ball gets kicked inside forward 50, whatever happens from there, you're in the lap of the gods.
Experience in that free kick.
Yep.
Felt the body, took the dive, and doesn't kick it like an experienced campaigner. That keeps the Saints alive.
Another oops.
Only 10 possessions to Aussie Jones. They've kept him busy. McManus has to take a lot of the credit for that. Jones has got the footy now to bring it in, because he makes so much happen from the back, Aussie Jones, normally. Into Mines, short to Thompson. That won't crack the nut at the moment. They need to go long and they need to be direct, the Saints.
They've got two big men in the square now. They're forward square.
Longmuir, well, it was borderline pushing the back from what we've seen this year, but he took the mark. He's been wonderful. Hazelby.
Yeah, sorry, Kane Ackland and Fraser Garrick both in the full forward goal square for the Saints.
Carr waited, Thompson didn't. Knocked it to Peckett, to Baker. Goes to the outer side. Saints trying to rally here. Thought about laying it off, play on's the call, comes back to the middle and Peckett plays on in turn, ball arches the back, just slides away from Carr's despairing tackle. Now Hayes across the ground to Schwarz inside the centre square,
away.
Gives it to Hamill, uncharacteristic fumble, the ball was down below his knees, now back to Schwarz from 45, they need a goal, he delivers, the Saints are still alive.
Well, Troy Schwarz, you would look into the coach's box now, and Grant Thomas would say, well, he's giving us the best and he's giving us the worst. I mean, just a terrible contest out on the wing 2 minutes ago, yet he runs off the back flank, takes the risk, takes the hit, and threads a goal. He's given you everything, Troy Schwarz, isn't he, in the space of 2 minutes? Good man.
Well, he was the hero of the Saints' win over the Lions last year, Troy Schwarz, when he kicked that monster 70-metre goal. In fact, one of only 2 goals he kicked for the year. And they are alive, the Saints, and they can smell it. Hayes to Peckett. Del Santo.
Now this should hit a target. He's got to aim for Hamill. Hamill's the true centre-half forward from this. Now Ackland's long on a lead behind him. He wants to go inboard, try and bypass the traffic ahead.
Hayes is on for the short one if he wants it, he wants it. Now Lenny Hayes needs to find a target. The leads come, not a lot of space forward.
Longmuir's been sucked to about 40 metres away, so he might be able to clear his head.
Mark that.
Oh, he's got to hurt.
Gathered it well. It's probably a pretty good option because the ball's in the dangerous spot.
He's still down.
Thompson. Del Santo. Ball still in there. Umpire might have to sort this out with a bounce.
Were you talking about Fraser?
That'll take him on.
No, I
off
was
you.
talking about Luke. Ball.
Yeah, that'll take your mind off your everyday problems. You got the mortgage. Here's the bounce, knocked down by Longmuir. Hamill lays it off. Fisher, 52 metres out, pulls it back. Going back with courage. Pollock over the top. Kaczynski.
Big body, big hit, big contest, and a big mark. Fantastic stuff there from Kaczynski. Watch the contact made. Bang, and Pollock just goes sideways.
Terrific.
That is a big power mark, that one. Now he must. If he kicks this, they're going to say sways in our direction. Big Fraser comes out and he'll count him.
Kaczynski has missed. Wow. Just a couple last week as well that were important. Fraser Gehrig around the boundary line, under 7 minutes to go, the margin 8 points.
If you were describing a golf shot for that kick at goal, he didn't slice it out there, he blocked it out there. It's virtually where he ran at.
Black to kick it in. 8 points the margin. Could have brought it down inside a goal. Got up. Well, thump clear of him. Woods caught. Important tackle, that one. Still alive, Gilmore. Can't pick it up. Hayes. Del Santo through traffic. Milne, the live wire. He can't make something out of nothing. Got up to ball. Captain trying to inspire. Harvey slips it wide. Chance here. Forward pocket. Thompson kicks. Are behind, but they're edging closer. They can see it.
And good pressure by the Saints. They held the ball on the half-forward line there. They were 2 on 3 there as Dad Headland comes to the bench. Peter Bell returns to the field.
Josh Carr in the back pocket. Chris Connolly and his assistants working the phone.
Those 3 men we described for the Dockers 5 minutes ago, then when they come forward, they've dried up now. It's all static play, as you see. Thornton just looking for a kicking target rather than a run from behind player.
Matthew Carr, Schwarz and Beckett. They vie for it. Schwarz comes up with it, goes short to Hamill, 55 metres out, told to play on by Harvey, spears the pass into Milne. This will test him if he goes for goal. Right on the boundary, right full forward. Goalless this afternoon. If he were to kick a goal here, the margin will be back to a point just under 6 minutes to go. The Dockers, 5 minutes ago, seem to have the Saints covered. Not so now. Milne goes with the outside of the boot and kicks a wonderful goal. Point the difference.
That is an exceptionally clever kick. You watch this, and a good well done by Troy Schwartz after it blew out on the wing 5 minutes ago. He's had a good patch. And this little kick, he kicks it slightly to the instep, high on his foot, and that will make a ball turn left to right. That's for a right footer. And just pushes it through and makes sure it gets a bit of left to right on it.
The live wire. Stephen Milne threads the eye of the needle.
You wouldn't want another coat of varnish on the near post.
7 kicks he's had, Stephen Milne. He kicked 3 goals from 6 kicks last week, and the Saints, they can smell it all right. Beckett, spearing ball towards Fisher. Good grab at half forward.
36 clearances for the Saints for the day. Fremantle only 19. They've won the last 3 out of the centre, the Saints.
Short passes on to Ackland. Getting there, Hayes. Chopped it off in front of Kane Ackland.
A lot of Dockers back inside defensive 50 now.
Chris Connolly wants to make a move, you sense with the phone there, but he's not sure which one to make.
Chris Waterman former Eagles player, Muddy. He's the backline coach for the Dockers. Oh boy. Let's go down to Jason McCartney.
Have got numbers back behind the ball. The most notable one for the Dockers is Matthew Pavlich being sent down to try and shore it all up for him and hold on.
Maguire here. Now, Dermot, do you have a shot with the margin 1 point, or do you try and centre it?
Well, he's not going to thread the eye through the ball into somebody's hands. He's going to put the, what do you call the thread through the needle, I suppose I'm looking for. I'm trying to watch what's happening out on the field. You've got to go for the goal. You've got to kick the goal sometimes.
Well, this would be a miracle, but it would also put the Saints in front. Oh, and Mill on the goal line are behind. Scores are level.
Is that Ackland who got the big sit?
It's an enormous ground, and when that ball was being kicked, not one soul beyond the line of the square at half forward for the Saints.
Yeah, big fly by Ackland. Just passed by the Dockers. They go for Headland now on Schwartz.
The crowd making plenty of noise. Oh, good mark taken by Webster. Webster at left half back.
Now, Moulded Souls didn't help Schwartz that occasion, pushed off it.
58 points apiece. Bell, the defensive side of the wing, as they work it forward systematically.
No run from behind though, Dennis.
No.
It's all dried up for them.
That's right. Bell just back on the ground. Goes to half forward. Pavlich makes a lead. Full-chested takes the mark. That's better. Some movement. Goes behind the defenders, turns everybody around. Offhands and falls in front. Now here's a chance for Dodd. Gets it across to Black. Goes over the top with McManus, who missed one earlier. Can he kick this one? No. Floats it straight up in the air. Terrible effort. Getting back, Maguire takes the mark. Like a spring heel, Jack is to his feet. Swings it wide to the wing. Thompson won't let them down. Takes the mark on his chest. McManus had to do better. Back it comes to Jones. Haven't seen a lot of him this afternoon. A couple of bounces down towards half-forward. A searing run by Jones. Looks across the ground now. Gets the kick across towards Kazetsky. Couldn't hang on. Bumped off it by McFarlane. On his knees goes back to McManus at close quarters to Josh Carr. Heard a voice. Good enough. Back to Polak. Polak from half-back. Goes for distance to half-forward. Hazelby works in front. Had it knocked away. In goes Goddard. Maguire now confronted by Pavlich. Penny gets a hand pass away. Too high. It's going to be a free kick to Penny.
First game for the year for Luke Penny. Didn't play against the Lions last week.
Now,
Brought
Maguire
in for some
sneaked
height
ahead.
and Riewolt's absence. Sorry, Dermot.
He sneaked ahead here, Maguire, because Pavlich is on the mark. If he can drop back, he's going to be a pretty easy target. The Saints player Fisher draws a crowd to him.
Maguire!
That's what Fisher has to understand footy and not just run to where he thinks the space is. He's got to keep his opponent away so Maguire gets an easy uncontested ball.
Forward line relatively open inside 50. Mill, he's got a couple to beat. McFarlane, well played. Bell, 2 minutes and counting. Hodgson cuts it off. Maybe the Saints to hit the lead. Hamill!
Kick the score, Aaron. You put enormous pressure back on Fremantle, who cannot get it past the centre if you hit the front, one way or the other. Just kick the score if you're a Saints supporter.
They've never drawn, these two teams.
Kane Ackland off. Brett Voss back on. He gave them something to think about up there. Didn't get the ball. Ackland, big target.
Just needs a score.
He's never kicked one from here since 2002.
Clock ticking.
Looks it.
Across the face, it's going to go through for a behind. Off hands perhaps, no. Woods, boundary line, Fisher. Thompson, exactly what the Dockers might want here. Out of bounds, Fisher keeps it alive. Harvey!
It's in the hands of the old champ. Look, Rob Harvey can do many, many things in a footy career. But kicking goals is probably on the bottom of his list of achievements.
Right now, he probably only needs to kick it behind Robert Harvey. Yeah. 302 games, and it doesn't matter how old you are, every kick you have in the backyard is a kick to win the game. Robert Harvey sends it wide. It's marked on the line by Polak.
Plays on immediately. Matthew Carr almost run down. He's got him, got three. That'll be an interesting call. The umpire says dropping the ball.
He dropped it to the ground. He dropped it when the tackle was pretty loose. But if you have a look at it, he tries to do the blind turn, and it's not the tackle that drops it. He just loses feel of it. Now the tackle's there. And
did he retard him? Gee, that will be a talking point after this game, I am sure. It's like last Thursday week. There'll be two sides of that argument.
At least it won't get as much spirit out of you, this one.
Great chase by Hamill, wasn't it?
He's been super again.
In the pocket, kicks across the face, sneaks it through for behind, and as they say in the classics, that is a very handy point. 37 seconds to go.
Well, it virtually is the clubhouse leader, isn't it? It's saying, come and catch me now.
That's right.
He'll go
One last challenge. Black straight down the middle. Polak's the target. Can't mark. Off hands. The seconds tick by. Hazelby got a handball out. Peckett. He wants to hold it in. Wants to make out. He's getting it out. 20 seconds and counting. Got up. Stolen. McManus. Chance for the Dockers. High kick towards attacking 50. Bouncing ball. Medhurst. He needs to go for the target. He goes for the goal. Punched away by Penny. And it's out of play.
Headland was free by 20 metres at half forward, and Medhurst, I'm sure, saw it.
So with 4 seconds left, they need to shark the ball in.
What an important fist on the footy. Look at Grant Thomas. How's the blood pressure in that box?
Boundary throw in. They've got to force it behind for a tie. Hayes. They've weathered the storm. St.Kilda win by a point.
What a game. It wasn't pretty football, Dennis. Dwayne, but we said all through we've got a contest.
I would like to be, you can see